So what is it that makes an artist's work valuable? I mean, really valuable, even decades after they're gone? Today, we're going to dig into that very question, and we're going to do it by looking at the British painter Edward Wesson. We'll explore his art, his life, and the whole fascinating machinery that makes an artist truly collectible.
Right off the bat, this quote from the Edward Wesson Gallery kind of says it all, doesn't it? It's a really powerful statement. We're not just talking about some respected artist from the past here. We're talking about a living, breathing, active market for his work right now. And that's the central mystery we're trying to solve. Why?
So there's our big question. What's the secret formula? What's that perfect mix of talent, subject matter, and legacy management that lets an artist's appeal not just survive, but actually thrive over time? Let's break it all down.
First things first, we have to get to know the man himself. Before we can even begin to talk about the market, we need to talk about the maker. So, who exactly was Edward Wesson?
Well, Wesson's life pretty much spanned the 20th century. He was born in London back in 1910, and get this, he was largely self-taught, which honestly makes his skill and his later success all the more amazing. Over his career, he just kept honing his craft, he gained some serious recognition, and he left behind this incredible body of work when he passed away in 1983. Look, being self-taught is one thing, but getting this kind of recognition, that's a whole other level. Getting into these super prestigious royal societies, that meant Wesson was accepted, celebrated by the absolute top tier of the art establishment. That kind of official stamp of approval is a really critical ingredient for a lasting legacy.
And he wasn't some recluse hiding away in a studio either. He was out there, a public figure, a teacher. His classes and his painting demonstrations were hugely popular. So he wasn't just creating art, he was actually building a community around it, and in the process, influencing a whole new generation of painters.
You can learn a ton about an artist just by looking at the titles of their work. It's kind of like a map of their mind, their passions, and their travels. So let's ask, what did Edward Wesson choose to see? And more importantly, what did he choose to paint? You start looking at the list, and a pattern emerges pretty quickly. This isn't just a random checklist of places. It's a love letter to Norfolk. He went back to these locations over and over again, and that created this deep, authentic connection to a place that just radiates from his work.
But, and this is key, he wasn't just a one-trick pony. His artistic eye was drawn to this huge variety of scenes. From the iconic skyline of London to the quiet beauty of a Dorset lane. And he even traveled, painting famous spots in Venice and Paris. He painted a world that felt very, very British, but also universally beautiful.
Okay, so we've got a talented, recognized artist with a beloved collection of work. But, that's not always enough to guarantee staying power. A legacy needs to be actively managed. So how is Wesson's popularity actually maintained today?
A huge piece of the puzzle is having a dedicated gallery. A central hub like this is absolutely crucial for an artist's legacy. It becomes the trusted source, the authority on what's real, and the main marketplace, all rolled into one. It's the anchor.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to trust. Think about it from a collector's point of view. You need assurance. By guaranteeing the condition of the art, offering professional services like framing, the gallery basically removes the risk. And that builds a ton of confidence in the value of the investment you're making.
All right, let's get practical for a second. How does this market actually work here in the 21st century? If you wanted to buy a Wesson painting today, what would that process even look like?
Well, you might be surprised at how straightforward it is. You can browse all the available work online, you can have a personal chat with the gallery about a piece you like, and then you can get it shipped pretty much anywhere in the world. That level of accessibility is so important for keeping the market alive and open to a global audience.
Okay, now this might be the most important factor of all for any collectible. The gallery doesn't just sell Wesson's art, it also buys it. By saying they're always interested in purchasing, they create what's called a liquid market. That tells collectors, hey, your investment is sound, because there's always a reliable place to sell it down the line. And that is what really props up the art's value.
And for anyone who's interested, the connection is so direct. An email or a phone call, and that's it. You're in the world of collecting Edward Wesson. It's this combination of historic legacy and modern accessibility that is just so powerful. So, when you put it all together, what have we seen? Wesson's legacy is built on a foundation of raw talent, yes, but also on official recognition, a clear passion for his subject, and, so crucially, a brilliantly managed estate. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? In our world of NFTs and fleeting digital trends, is this kind of formula, talent plus smart management, the only way to create art that truly, truly lasts?